What are some horrifying things to consider when thinking about aliens? The possibility of them already knowing about us but us not knowing about them. We have no idea if they know. They could be committing space espionage right now and we wouldn't know about it. That they don't actually exist. If there were no advanced civilization that can colonize other planets, that would mean that most of them go extinct before they reach that level of technological advancement. What if their cheeks aren't clappable? We won't know about their existence until they attack us. What if there really is valuable information to be gained from probes? They might bully you. That they are from the future. Time flows differently in space, and if aliens are real then they could be from the future. My main thing is that they'll bring a virus or something that'll just wipe us out cause we've never seen anything like it. Or we'll be immune cause it's too alien. Who knows? But until there is actual proof that there are advanced aliens out there, I'll stick to the idea that they are bacterial cells on Titan or something. That they could be massive. Taller than buildings and eat us like bacon strips. They can also come in different forms than we expect. You could have an alien made of sound waves or a microscopic alien. They might have all the unobtainium. Extremely unlikely. I know. But if aliens ever come to Earth, it likely means they are a space-faring and interstellar-capable species with tech at least centuries, if not millennia, ahead of ours. In other words, if aliens are even remotely capable of traveling to our planet, we're pretty much outgunned hilariously. I'm not afraid of aliens. Even if they're out there. Which I certainly won't rule out. Then they're too far away to ever interact with us. Why they're here? Since life on this planet is one big cycle of eating other living things, plants and animals, to survive. The fact that any life form that advanced that showed up to Earth without wanting a peaceful contact would likely just show up, vacuum up all the resources and leave us to die without any communication or anything. Think about it. When humans go into nature to get resources, they don't kill all the animals. They just take what they want and leave. For some reason that is more chilling to me than aliens just glassing the planet with lasers. I don't think a peaceful alien would contact us. We are violent and very territorial. Things that would be in opposition to any kind of peaceful alien or interplanetary federation. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both scenarios are scary. That one day they will just wipe out our planet without us ever knowing why, and that it will be so fast we don't even realize it. We struggle enough with terrestrial diseases and infections. If extraterrestrial beings came to this daft little planet we live on without ill will, the diseases they would bring. Similar to what could happen with non-contact tribes like the Sentinelese. They've had no exposure to some of the modern-day diseases, and just one person could kill them all without meaning to or knowing. Simply because they carry an infection, virus or disease. Our immunity has evolved and adapted to common diseases, and as the human race, we've worked to help people become immune to not-so-common diseases. As proven by SARS-CoV-2. All it takes is something novel, aka new, previously unknown, to wreak havoc on the human race. We may not be able to mobilize our collective medical knowledge with speed. If we can even identify and work towards a cure with current terrestrial technology, before it infects and possibly kills the human race. All just because some crazy little or large ET just wanted to say hi. Just look at what happened to Native Americans when white people showed up. The same will happen to all of us. The most horrifying thing about discovering aliens would be that the human race would have no idea how to process the aliens. We would be absolutely terrified of them because they would probably be beyond human comprehension. Alien discovery would be one of the scariest things to ever happen to mankind. We taste like pork. We're so sorry. We can't protect you anymore. What if they were like, really, really big? The way that we tend to treat other forms of life that aren't quite like us. And also how we treat forms of life that are exactly like us, but which we manage to convince ourselves are somehow different, and a bit less human than we are. That they might not exist. If there are aliens, they could undoubtedly pose a threat to humanity. But I think most people want alien life to exist elsewhere. That way we aren't alone in the universe. I think that the most horrifying thing to think about is that despite how incredibly huge the universe is, we might be the only ones in it. Edit. Reread my comment. Alien life wouldn't undoubtedly pose a threat to humanity. It may pose a threat. And that's assuming that it's intelligent life. The scariest thing to me is thinking that aliens want nothing to do with us. I don't get why everyone thinks that aliens would attack us immediately. It's one thing if we come into their territory. But if they stumble upon us, we're most likely safe. Them finding us would mean they are incredibly advanced. Anything they could get by attacking Earth, they could get far easier by harvesting it from a different planet in our solar system. Unless they feed specifically on brainwaves. It isn't worth the hassle to attack a planet teeming with life. They may have some weapons. However primitive, that might be used against you. It's far more frightening to believe that aliens will one day discover us and won't be interested. They won't want us on their intergalactic councils. They won't want to give us medicine. They won't want to form any bond. If they decide to just leave humanity alone, that means either they have decided we are not worth saving, or that we are too close to destruction to be worth the resources. They would know what I've searched in incognito mode. That they might be so advanced that you don't even notice them. Just like a colony of ants won't notice us. That with their superior technology it will be easy for them to harvest all our data and use it against us. The other day, I looked at pictures of the universe and thought, what if Earth is the size of a marble ball to an alien? I think it's called ant theory. That we are so small. We can't possibly comprehend the space we live in and see or acknowledge other beings. That we're no more interesting or important to them than the anthill in your yard. They won't be like us. They'll be thousands of years beyond having a DNA-based substrate. The bodies they use will be consciously designed and used as needed. Most existence will be virtual. That they've been and are the sole reason humans exist here at all. I.e., we are them. For all we know, aliens might not be the little green men that fly around in flying saucers and destroy us with laser beams. They could be an interstellar pathogen that show up one day and silently and effortlessly kills us all without warning. Our immune systems would have no idea what hit them. That they won't be bangable. 99% of aliens in media are just pretty, slightly alter humans, with a few exceptions. The others are horror movie monsters. So they are less about sentient life, and more about ending yours. What if they decide to colonize? But they don't like oxygen very much. So that won't be as prominent anymore. Honestly, if they have the tech, we are. Here's hoping they are nice and bangable. That if they are advanced enough to find and reach us without detection, if they think like humans, they'll have about as much empathy for us as we do cattle given our vastly inferior intellects. I mean, what if they are just like us but with super technology and weapons? If they come to us, then they are automatically thousands of years more advanced than us. It's possible that they are fat single-cell organisms just loafing around. The assumption that they come in groups in some flying saucer. For all we know, they might just appear in hordes of thousands of not millions all across the planet. Also, we like to think that aliens will share the same way of thinking as humans, i.e., reasoning, emotions, etc. But the only reason we think that is because that's the only thing we are familiar with. Aliens might have completely different emotions or thought processes than us, but we won't know because we never encountered them before. It's like the fourth dimension. At this point it's pretty well established what it is, but most of us, if not all, have no clue how to visualize or properly explain it. Our human concepts of morality and empathy are heavily influenced by our mammalian biology. Imagine that aliens land, and instead of having nice little family units, their species lays clutches of thousands of eggs at a time. They don't form strong bonds. Life is essentially expendable for them. They see us weeping over a dead child and they have literally no frame of reference for understanding why this would be upsetting. I'm not saying all aliens will be like this, but some definitely could be. One theory from Stephen Hawking is that if they are sufficiently advanced, that aliens may treat us like ants. When we build dams, we don't worry about whether or not a dam will cause an anthill to be flooded out. Similarly, a species that is advanced as far beyond us as we are beyond ants might seek to alter our planet or even our solar system to their advantage without giving consideration to what may happen to us. If there is alien life out there that is aware of our existence, they are so much more advanced than us that we're inconsequential to them. They would look at us the same way the average person looks at a colony of ants. Until they find something useful for us to do or something we have that could be useful to them, we'd find a whole bunch of people suddenly understanding the plight of farm animals that we abuse because they're a lower form of consciousness. They could be more attractive than humans. You could get aroused by aliens. That it's already happened. That aliens came to Earth, destroyed what was already living there, and took over. That we, humans, had been the aliens. Aliens will have their own diseases, things native to them such as bacteria, and will already be resistant to them. But add humans in and you can already see what happens when humans lack one vaccine to cope with an epidemic. Imagine thousands and thousands of different, more lethal, and unique COVID-19s. They could have a weapon with power equivalent to the Death Star with a size 100x smaller than the battle station from the films. I think aliens are possibly worse than a universe where we are alone. When we're alone, we get to choose our own fate. If humanity falls, we fall because of our own faults. If there's aliens, we're at their mercy. Being alone means we have the whole universe to discover for ourselves without worrying about being yeeted by some randos. We'll be in charge of our own destiny. For all humanity's faults, we can at least predict what we'll do. When we're dealing with a foreign species like that, it could be the end of humanity. Maybe they'll use us for testing procedures and medications. Like lab rats. That they are going to treat us just like we treat animals. For all we know, they could be infinitely physically stronger than us. That they will be microbes arriving on a meteor and will be invulnerable to Earth-made antibiotics. Would be scary to imagine a starved, desperate race of beings that are trying to keep their world alive by any means necessary. That they come because they want our planet, and to use humans as their livestock. Humans used to sacrifice each other to something pretty scary. Maybe they treat us like we treat pigs, cows and chickens. Easy so image a squirrel and home is a tree. It would make no sense to see humans cutting ton of trees for resources. For aliens, they could destroy our buildings for resources and enslave us. The fact that they could pretty much see us as inferior life forms. Thus, they could make us slaves. Their food or test subjects. It wouldn't be something personal. They just would look down on us like we would do with some ants. Not even worth it changing the direction of a step to avoid killing. If there are aliens, which there almost definitely are, we have no idea what they would look like or how they would act. We always portray aliens as little humanoid things with big heads, but how do we know they wouldn't look more like a xenomorph from the Alien movies or some sort of weird creepy-looking insectoid thing? There could be all sorts of out there that humans can't even begin to comprehend or prepare for. Looks like someone doesn't feel like sleeping tonight. That the universe is full of intelligent life. But space travel between such species is simply not possible within the realms of existing physics given the vast distances and seemingly hard limit of light speed. We are doomed to live on this rock for at most a few 100 million years more until the sun burns out. That even if every conspiracy theory about aliens having been here is true, we're probably never going to hear about it from our governments because of the mass panic that would ensue. That they found us, observed from a distance for the past 10 years or so, and have declared the planet a disaster area that nobody should ever visit. The dark forest theory kinda freaks me out. The universe is a dark forest. Every civilization is an armed hunter stalking through the trees like a ghost, gently pushing aside branches that block the path and trying to tread without sound. Even breathing is done with care. The hunter has to be careful, because everywhere in the forest are stealthy hunters like him. If he finds another life, another hunter, angel, or a demon, a delicate infant to tottering old man, a fairy or demigod, there's only one thing he can do: open fire and eliminate them. The speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. I think that any aliens that are capable of traveling light years to reach us have no interest in our resources.